You're listening to Classic 107. My name is Neil Coligan, and this show is Jazz After 9. And a very rare event this evening on the show. I have Erin Propp and Larry Roy in studio together, which is quite a task, it seems, because both of you are so busy right now.
We don't like to be anywhere together, really.
That's not true exactly.
Except in recordings?
I'm joking.
Yeah, I realize that. Good. Yeah. Erin and Larry, of course, are Juno-nominated artists. They're also winners of the Western Canada Music Awards for jazz, and the album Courage My Love, a debut album for the pair. But they're also going to be performing at some events coming up this December, as well as earlier next week. And here to talk about it tonight. So I'm going to start with Erin, since usually you're the chattier one. There's a series of house concerts that you're going to be doing.
Yes, the house concerts are with friends of ours. Yuri Hooker, you might know him from the Winnipeg Symphony, and his wife, conductor and pianist Michelle Moore. I did house concerts with them at this time of year 3 years ago, and it just made so much sense to bring Larry along, and we're just really glad to have him to make a quartet for the evening. It's just a really nice setting. It only seats 50 people per night, so you get to see us sweat or see us cry or however the evening goes. And Larry and I love doing house concerts, so this is great and a treat to do it with other musicians as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, for Larry, you're a producer and recording engineer and stuff like that. So obviously, you care very much about sound. How's the environment and performance? How does the environment of a house concert work for you?
Well, there's nothing better really than a house concert because it's so intimate, and the crowd is normally they're there to hear you, so it's very quiet. You could hear a pin drop, and it's the best place to. It's the best way to hear Erin Propp sing because it's as close as you're going to get to her, and it's just fun for us to play together in that setting because every little nuance is apparent, and so that's always a treat.
Yeah. I remember seeing you two at a lounge at a local hotel there, and I can remember in that room you were putting on a fabulous performance, but the fact that, of course, that it is a lounge means that there's a lot of activity that's happening at that point, and there was almost this moment where I wanted to say, hey, can everybody quiet down? The woman is singing, and this guy is playing, you know?
Yeah, we're glad to get work, and we're grateful for local places in Winnipeg that still host live music, but there are times when it can be a little frustrating, but we still manage to have a good time and just find ways to enjoy ourselves even when maybe the crowd isn't our favorite kind of a venue.
Yeah. So for the house concerts at this point, because you're saying it's only 50 people per performance, are they all sold out at this stage? Or?
Sunday night is sold out. We have a Saturday.
Which dates are we talking?
So we're doing Thursday, November 27th, Saturday the 29th, and Sunday the 30th. And Sunday's sold out. Saturday has 8 seats left, and Thursday has, I think, 12. So we very much anticipate selling out and having some of those. Yeah, and Larry still needs to reserve some of those, so there aren't many left.
Okay. And if, for instance, people can't make it to the house concerts, you do also have a concert coming up at the Franco-Manitoban Centre.
On December 16th for Marty Jazz at their regular Tuesday night show. Julian Bradford is joining us on bass that night. We love playing with him, as does the rest of the province. And then we'll feature some Christmas songs there too, I'm sure, because both Larry and I really like Christmas music, but we'll do a lot of originals and some new things too. So.
Yeah, and speaking of Christmas, you're also going to be involved with the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra for Sweet Messiah that's coming up in December.
Yes, what is that, the 14th, I think, a Sunday afternoon, matinee, and evening. Yeah, looking forward to that. It's always a nice show. They usually fill a house, especially at Christmas time, and they're just a nice group of people to play with. That's a pretty
decent room, too, for sound.
And I'll comment on that because I'm finishing the mix on the WGO, the new WGO Christmas record that Erin is singing on, so I've been working with Erin on these tracks, and she sounds amazing.
Oh, okay.
So the people will enjoy that.
Okay. What songs did they get you to do?
I did. There's a Train Out for Dreamland and Joy to the World. Oh, what was the third one? Do you remember? Caroling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caroling is Alfred Burt. He makes really great Christmas carols. Some of them not as many people know. Joy to the World is arranged, I think, by Jeff. Jeff Presloff did that one. And he did Dreamland as well. Yeah, really, really nice arrangements.
So that'll be a nice album for people this season. Is it going to be ready for the Christmas season?
It will. It's actually going to be ready for the concert because we're finishing the mix this weekend, having it mastered on Sunday probably, and they're sending it away for manufacturing. So it'll be back in time for the concert.
Okay. Naturally, with the debut album, Courage My Love, it got tremendously good reception. You won an award with it with the Western Canada Music Awards, and it was Juno nominated. Naturally, people expect a follow-up. Is there anything of that nature coming?
There is. We've probably, we're at the point now, I think we have about 7 or 8 tunes that are ready to record. And we want to write another 6 to 8 tunes, have maybe 12 to 14 to draw from. And then embark upon another labor of love, which is for us to work in the studio together. We spent a lot of time on the first record. Spent a lot of time in the studio. It was really probably an 8-month process, and the fact that I have my own studio allows us to do that in a way that would be quite costly to do elsewhere. And so we're about to embark upon that again. I'm not sure. Probably the spring. We'll go into some tracking sessions and bring in some musicians and prepare that. So we're just writing. We're getting back to writing. We've been away from it for a little while. It can be intimidating to have to write together. It's scary at times, but I think we both enjoy doing that, and we know that we can get results, and we like what we come up with together. It's just a nice blend of ideas and approaches, and so that's where we're at.
So would we also see some of the musicians who you previously worked with on Courage My Love?
I think so. We haven't really talked about that far ahead. But it was a great experience with everybody that was there. I mean, if we could get Jimmy Green back again,
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
So that's high on my list.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also people like Curtis Noasad, who's currently in New York.
And Luke, these guys that have
they're both in New York
spent
now.
a lot of hours with us, and that just depends on where they are when the time comes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it certainly was an amazing record. I'm glad it was well received, and we've been playing it here at Classic 107.
Thank you. And thank you for playing it here.
Oh, I love to play quality material. No problem.
And for having us here today.
Yeah. So we're going to end this interview. Of course, remind you that those events are coming up, and we'll put it up on our website as well as our Facebook page. I'm going to end off on one of your songs from Courage My Love, and it's also one that's featured in the Loft Sessions video that's on the Manitoba Music website. Let's tell us about it.
Sure. This song is called He Cries, and Neil, you're right. It was our first ever music video, which was pretty fun to do, and we big thanks to Manitoba Music for inviting us to their Loft Sessions. He Cries, we wrote this one together as well, and it's a little kind of a reflection on growing up with 2 really loving parents, and my dad talking about my mom in a really precious way that I wanted to remember. So that's about this song.
Great. Well, thank you very much, and we'll end off this interview here on Jazz After 9. Thank you very much, Larry. Thank you very much, Erin.
Thank you, Neil.
Yeah, thanks, Neil.
And this is Erin Propp, Larry Roy with He Cries on Classic 107.
He cries when he talks about her.